So good morning everyone. We are discussing web technologies. In web technologies we have started unit 2, that is JavaScript, and in JavaScript till now we have started data types, type conversions, operators, variables and such things. Now I wanted to tell you about objects of JavaScript, and you know in previous class we have covered some of the objects of JavaScript. For that continuation we will see now. So what I wanted to tell you is we have started objects in JavaScript, and objects are of two types, predefined objects and user-defined objects. In that, predefined objects are also called as built-in objects, user-defined objects are also called as custom objects. These built-in objects we have like math, window, document, array, string and date. In this we have completed till string. What I mean to say, we have seen in last class math objects. Window is for input and document is for output. Array and string also we have completed in last class. Now we will see once what are these, we will recall, and then we will go for date object. So this is what math objects we have seen. You can look here, remember, and revision one more time. So math objects are nothing but min, max, absolute, ceiling, flooring, round, square root, power, sign and log. This we have discussed in last class, and examples for that also we have discussed in last class. And I have told you a program to perform all these math objects. So by performing this HTML program, the output will be like this. So this is the output of that HTML program. This and all you have seen in last class. So next one is very important one, window object. Nothing but for input. This we are discussing from last two classes. From last two classes onwards, we have been discussing this window one, alert method, prompt method, confirm, open and close. So recall all these things. This is the program. See here. This is the program where you get window.alert is nothing but input statement. So the output window. Again, what is confirm? Program for confirm. And here we have taken the payment program for telling about confirm. So next one is very important, document. Document is for, see, document.write, document.write, two things we will have. These are nothing but methods. These methods we have been discussing from last class. So very interesting. Next one is array. Obviously array means we will have insert, delete, like these options. So push is for inserting, pop is for deleting, for sorting the array elements, to perform reverse and to join. This also we have seen with examples in last class. So next one, string. See, string objects. String object also have some methods. In these methods we have already discussed about lowercase, uppercase, addition of two strings, and caret also we discussed. Caret is nothing but finding the particular character in the string. Then I have told you about Unicode. Unicode is nothing but converting the principal language elements into character code. So JavaScript will support this Unicode. About this also we have seen in the last class. So these are the examples, converting into lowercase, converting into uppercase, then addition of two strings, finding the character. See, this you have seen in the last video, char code. I have explained this in the last video. Remember this, all these things to be continued. So we are having some Unicode. So whenever I am giving the Lara, in Lara what is the third character? 0, 1, 2, 3. In the third position I have letter A. For letter A, 97 is the code. So this and all we have seen in the last class. So now, today what we have to discuss is date object. So we are discussing about objects. This objects topic in JavaScript we are discussing. In this we have predefined objects and user-defined objects. This predefined objects is also called as built-in objects. Examples of these built-in objects are nothing but math, string, array, document, window. Apart from all these things we have date object also. So date objects will have the methods like get full year, get month, get minutes, get time. Get is the word used in date object. Get is the word used in date object. So get seconds, get date, get day, set. Get is for getting the output for us. Set is for setting the date, setting the day, setting the month, and setting the time, year and all. So these things you have to remember. We are discussing about date object. Date object is also the part of built-in objects. Built-in objects is also called as predefined objects. Now, in this date object, we have the methods like get, set. In this also we can get year, month, minutes, time, second, everything. See here, to GMT string. This is also a method. To GMT string. This is also one of the method in our date object. We will see one by one these by examples. So let us see. If you write this program, what will be the output? I want to get date. So opening tags, closing tags same. Script language is JavaScript, you all know that. This document.writeln is used for printing the output statement, that also you know. Now I have declared the variable C. What is my variable name? Variable C. In this C, what I wanted to be stored? I want to store date. I want to store date from 1 to 31. Maximum every month we have August 1st to that month end 31st. So same way I have taken a variable. In that variable I am storing date. That date I wanted to be print as output. So output will be number between 1 to 31. Output of this program will be a number between 1 to 31. So HTML open, head close, HTML close, scripting language JavaScript, script tag close, all these things you know. What you need to understand, you are using variables in JavaScript, variable name is C. In this variable you want to store date. Date is obviously nothing but number. To print the output we are using document.writeln. Now what I want? For C I want to get date. Then what is the statement? C dot get date. This get date is for getting the date of this month. C is my variable. So you have to practice writing these statements. Rest entire program you know already from the beginning. Now you want to practice what is the variable name, dot, what method you are using. Why I am using get date here? Because I want to get the date 1 to 31 as output. Likewise we will see for the next one also. See here, if you want to get a week, if you want to get day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, all these things if you want. So rest of the things all are same. So variable C is also same. Here I am using day. So I have changed the sentence as C is my variable, get day. In the previous program I have written C dot get date. Because I want to get calendar date, I have written C dot get date. Here I want to get day. So I have written C dot get date. So if you write this program, what will be the output? Starting from 0, 6 you will get. All these are nothing but days of a week. Days of a week. So output will, if you give date, output will be between 0 to 31. If you give day, output will be between 0 to 6. Because we have 31 days, we got 0 to 31. Because we have only 7 days, from 0 to 6 it is 7. So when you give day, you will get 0 to 6 output. So next one, months. If you want months, you have to write the statement as C dot get month. In every program, all the remaining things are same. Only this statement will change depending upon our output. If I want the output from 0 to 11, because I have 12 months, I have to write C dot get month. So when I write C dot get month, I will get the output from 0 to 11 because I have 12 months, and the 12 months like this will display as the output. So till now what you have learned, if you give date, 0 to 31 will print. If you give day, 0 to 6 days will print. If you give month, 0 to 11 months will print as the output. So let us see next one. Now I want current year. What is the current year we are in? 2020. This current year I want as output. If I want this current year as output, I want to write the statement as C is my variable, get is the method, I want the year, that's why I am giving full year. So this is the statement. All the rest of the things declaring the variable, everything or same. What will change is this method will change. Why this method is changing? I want in output a full year. So if I want to get the full year, I will write as variable dot get full year. So this is how this program works, and we will get the year as the output. So the next one. So by this we have concluded. By this we have concluded object date. In date object we have get and set methods. So by this what we have concluded? We have started unit 2. Unit 2 is JavaScript. In JavaScript we have discussed many things. As a part of that we are discussing about objects also. Objects is divided into two types, predefined objects and user defined objects. Predefined objects is also called as built-in objects. We have the built-in objects like math, string, array, window, document and finally date. In date objects we have the get and set method. This get and set method can bring you date, day, month, time, everything. So by this we are concluding predefined objects, which are also called as built-in objects. From next slide we will see what are user defined objects. So see here, now we are going to see user defined objects. These user defined objects are also called as custom objects. We can also call it as object creation. User defined objects. In the name itself we have who is using the object, they are going to define that object. So see here, objects are often created with new expressions which must also include to call construction method. In Java, however, a new operator creates a blank object. This is very important point. What is the important point here? In JavaScript, however, new operator will create a blank object. Whenever you are creating a operator, this operator will automatically create blank object. This is very important point in our unit 2. If there are predefined objects, well and good. But if we don't have predefined objects, what JavaScript is going to do? JavaScript, whenever we are creating the operators, that operator will automatically create a blank object. So rest of the points also you know. See, if you want to create object, the syntax is variable my object equal to new object. This is the syntax. So two important points you need to remember for all these is, however, JavaScript will create a blank object for every operator. If you want to create your own object, variable my object equal to new object is the syntax. Variable my object equal to new object. Braces semicolon. So this is the syntax if you want to create a new object. So let us see. So see here what I have created. My variable name is S1. I have created a object. S1 dot name equal to Ravi. Nothing but I have initialized a property for this. First I have created S1. S1 is variable. In this S1 I have given a name. The name I have given for S1 is Ravi. Nothing but first I have created the object like variable object name new object. Then I am initializing a property for that. What property I have initialized? Name. Name is Ravi. Attendance is 75. So name, attendance, all these are nothing but properties. So you have to understand. First we need to create the object. For creating object, what is the syntax we have? Variable object name new object. So what is my variable name? S1. Now I have created an object called as S1. For this S1 I am giving the name as Ravi. So name is nothing but a property. For this S1 I am giving the attendance as 75%. Attendance is also a property. So that is what we have given here. See, first we have created the object. We have given name, we have given attendance, nothing but creating the object and giving the properties. Then see here, for example, object is referred S1 in the previous example could be created with the following statement. See how we have done here. First I have created the object, next I have given the name, next I have given the attendance. In this way also you can do, or else you can do in the single statement as Variable S1 equal to name Ravi, attendance 75. In this way also you can create the object. My main intention is creating object. Why I am creating object? Because these are user defined objects. What is the syntax we have for user defined object? Variable my object equal to new object. This is the syntax we have. According to this syntax, first we can create and then initialize the properties. Otherwise, at the same time, we can create the object and initialize properties also. Like variable S1 equal to name Ravi and attendance 75. This is about creating a object. So see, we will see some example here. So variable S1, nothing but object created, name Ravi and attendance 75. Properties we have given. But I want to print. Document.writeLN is for printing the output. I have given S1 object only name and attendance, but I want phone number of S1, nothing but undefined. We have discussed about so many things: numbers, strings, boolean, undefined, null. What are all these? These are all data types. While discussing about data types, we discussed about number, string, undefined, boolean and null. These are all called as data types of JavaScript. Now what I wanted to tell you people, name I have given, attendance I have given, document.writeLN is to print the output, S1 is my object. For this object we have only name and attendance, but I want phone number. According to our data types in JavaScript, if we don't define the phone number and we want that, then it is called as undefined data type. So if you go back to the previous classes, then you will understand what is the data types. So what data types we have? Number, string, array, number, string, boolean, null, undefined, these are all the data types. What I wanted to tell you people is, see, if an attempt is made to access the property of an object that does not exist, the value undefined is used. What I have written in the form of point here, I have explained in the form of example here. So S1 is my object. I have defined only name and attendance, but I want the property that is not assigned. Attempt is made to access the property of object that do not exist, that value undefined is used. Name and attendance is defined, phone number is not defined. I want phone number to be accessed, so that ultimately will be undefined. So see here, a property can be deleted with delete. So see, I have taken S1 object, I have given name and attendance. If I want to delete this attendance, I can delete the property with the help of delete option. So remember 2 points. Creating the object, you already know. Giving properties to object, you also know that. Now, you want to access some other property which is not given, that will be termed as undefined. And if you want to delete any property that is already given, with the help of delete, you can delete it. So we'll see the example now. See the example program, how it is coming step by step. Say I have created 501, I have given name as Naveen, attendance. I want to print that roll number and name, attendance also. So that will be the output. So if you see program, so I am not going to talk about all these opening tags and scripting languages. Just I wanted to talk about creating the object, that is S1. For this object I have given the properties. What are the properties of this object? Roll number, name, attendance. 3 properties we have. Now what I want? Document.write is for output. This BR tag is for break. You know all these things. So I am not going to talk about tags. Variable I have used and S1 is the object name. For this S1 I have given the properties. We have 3 properties, that is roll number, name and attendance. Now I wanted to print all these things. For output I am using document.write, and now for giving break I am using BR tag. So after executing the program, this will be the output. 501, Naveen, attendance 75. Why they got in separate lines? We used BR tag. What are those properties of S1? What is S1? Object. Simple. So I wanted to tell you the images used in this video is for the purpose we have taken from the internet. Actually, I forgot to tell you this in previous videos. The images I have used, the content I have used, all this is taken from internet, and this is used for only commercial academic purpose and not the commercial purpose. So next we will see what are arrays. So arrays is our next topic. So you already know what is a array, right? Because you know C programming, you know Java, you know Python, everything. When you know that many programming languages, you obviously know what is a array. Array is for storing the data, similar type of data elements which starts from index 0. Very simple. Arrow is for storing similar type of data elements which index value is from 0. Same way in JavaScript also we have arrays. See here, in different ways we can declare the arrays. Declare. So now I wanted to tell you about arrays of JavaScript. You already very familiar with the word array because in every programming language you have array concept. Array is nothing but for storing similar data elements which index value starts from 0. So how you can declare the array? Variable array name A. Variable A, new array with 6 elements. Variable A with 10, 20, 30 as array. Variable A, new array with 10, 20, 30 as elements. Variable A equal to new array. You have 6 different ways to declare arrays in JavaScript. Like this you can declare, or giving like this you can declare. At a time you can give the values also. You can use the different types of brackets. Or otherwise first you can declare the array and then give the size. So this is the example. So why this example is used? I am taking the array A. In that I have 10, 20, 30, 40 elements. I want to print A. When I print A, I will get this output. See, arrays is very similar topic for you all people. In every programming language you will have this. Important point you need to remember is array index will always starts with 0. And array is for storing similar type of data elements. If you know these points, in JavaScript we have 6 different ways to declare the array. In that one is variable A equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. In this way also you can declare. What will be the output? Obviously, for output we are using document.write. When we use output statement and give A is nothing but 10, 20, 30, 40. That only will print as output. So one more example, see here. I have given variable A equal to new array 10, 20, 30, 40. So you can use this kind of braces also. Variable A equal to new array. In this array I want 10, 20, 30, 40. This is the sentence. Variable A is nothing but array name. New array with the elements 10, 20, 30, 40. That will print in the output. You can use this square brackets. You can use this curve brackets also. So next one, I told you when I am talking about array object, I have told you about array methods. What array methods we have? Push, pop, push and pop for inserting and deleting. So here what I am doing, I want to insert the elements into array A. First I am inserting 10, then 20, then 30. A dot push is nothing but A is the variable name and array name. Push is the word used to insert. Push is the word used to insert. So what I have taken? I have taken an empty array. In that I have inserted 10, 20 and 30. Finally the output also will be the same. So push is the word used to insert. Pop is the word used to delete. So this is also another example. So I have taken a new array. In that new array I am pushing the elements. Finally I am printing those elements. So see, this example will be somewhat different. I have taken an array with size 6. So randomly with the help of keyboard I am giving the input. If you see here, this program is to give the input from keyboard. If I want to give input from keyboard, I have to use the word prompt. If I use the word prompt, this prompt method is used for giving input from keyboard. So I am using prompt word. Prompt word is used for giving input from keyboard. In this program I am going to give input from keyboard. For that I have generated a loop, for loop. When discussing about control structures, we have discussed about loops also. So for is one of the loop. What is the syntax of for? For some expression, that's it. So what are the expressions we have here? I equal to 0, I less than a dot length, I plus plus. So I equal to 0 is the first condition, I less than a dot length is the second condition, second expression, I plus plus is the third expression. So we are using for loop, we are declaring a array. I am going to give the input from keyboard. For that I have used prompt word. Finally I am printing A. So nothing but A is created. For this I want to give values, 6 values. I will give 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 to 5 is nothing but 6 values. What will be the output? Obviously output will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So listen carefully, I have created an array. For that array I want to give the elements using keyboard, that's why I have used window.prompt. So I can give any 6 values because I have initialized the size of array as 6. I am using the for loop and I want to check the expressions I equal to 0, I less than a dot length, I plus plus. After performing all these things, see why I am using parseInt here, to convert all these array elements into integers. If you want all these array elements into integers, you want to use the method parseInt. In this one program only we are using everything that we have discussed till now. So see here, so first one, to give input from keyboard we want to use prompt. I have declared the array I have declared, array size is 6. I am giving the input from keyboard. I want to print array, for that I am using document.write. I want all the array elements to be integers only, to be numbers only. For that I have used parseInt. After doing all these things, I need to check for loop and for loop conditions. These are general conditions in for loop. You already know this in C programming also. First we will check with 0. If condition satisfied, that element will be in output. So same logic when you are working with Java, when you are working with C language also same logic only. But what are the additional things we are using here? To give from keyboard we are using prompt. For output printing we are using document.write. To convert all those into integers, numbers, we are using parseInt. So one more example on arrays. This is for deleting. See, I told you push is for inserting, pop is for deleting. As I told you already, when talking about array object, we already know push is for inserting, pop is for deleting. Now we are doing pop. My array name is A with the elements 10, 20 and 30. I want to perform pop operation on A. For that I have written A.pop. Nothing but from the last onwards it will delete one element. So I have not mentioned which element to be deleted. I just said delete the element. I have not mentioned which element to be deleted. So when I have not mentioned, it will delete from the last inserted one. That is, the first we gave 10, next we gave 20, after that we gave 30. I have not told you to delete which element. Then what it will do, last entered one will be there, that it will delete. So what it deleted here, 30 it deleted. So the output will be 10 and 20 only. So A.pop. This method is used for deleting. So if you mention delete 20, it will delete 20. If you have not mentioned which element to delete, the last entered element will be deleted and that will not be there in the output. So see one more example on our arrays. This is for array reverse. So till now we have seen everything on arrays. How to create an object, then after creating objects how to create arrays, then after creating arrays what are the methods we have in arrays, finally how to perform the reverse. If you have given 10, 20, 30, after performing reverse method, it should print 30, 20, 10. That only will be there in the output also. How this is happening? Creating the array, initializing and declaring the array, using the array method as reverse, that is nothing but A dot reverse, because A is your array name. So after that, if you want to print output, document.write is the output sentence. What you want to print A. In 30, in A what you have done already, reverse. So that 30, 20, 10 will be printed in reverse. So next last one, sort. Sort is nothing but ascending order. In order. In which order? Ascending order. If you have given like 30, 20, 10, in ascending order it will be 10, 20, 30. Ordering your elements in ascending order can be done with the help of sort method. So A dot sort is the method. In array object we have some methods. In that method sort also is one of the method. Why sorting is used? To arrange your elements in ascending order. So what you have done? Open the tag and closing tag. For output printing document.write, A is your array. In that array you have already created. After creating you declare. Initialized also. So after doing all these things you are performing A dot sort. A dot sort. Why this A you have used? Because that is your array name. So after sorting what it should do? It should perform in the ascending order. So obviously 30, 20, 10 will be in ascending order as 10, 20, 30. So what we have seen? Push to insert, pop to delete, reverse to reverse the given array, sort for sorting the array in ascending order. So this is the example for sort, this is the example for reverse, this is the example for pop, this is the example using loops, this is the example for push, inserting. So till now what we have seen? So what is array? In JavaScript we have 6 types of declaration of arrays. After declaring a small example to print the array, so to initialize the array, inserting the elements, converting all the array elements into integers, then deleting the elements, array elements, reversing the array elements, sorting the array elements, finally join. Join is also one of the method in arrays. A dot join is nothing but join method. Join is the method in array object. Since our array name is A, we are using A dot join. See here, my array elements are 30, 20, 10. I want to join them using the slash. The output will be like this, 30, 20, 10. So join is used to join the array elements. We have elements. These are of similar elements. So similar elements we can store in the array with the starting index value 0. So array size, your wish, you can decide the array size. And without declaring the array size, at runtime also you can give the array size. Apart from all these things, join is the method used in the array object. This join method is for appending your array elements, joining your array elements. So I want to join this 30, 20, 10 by slash. So it appended like this. See, if you want to give dates, for example, if you want to give 12th Feb 1994. If you want to give 12th Feb 1994. So you can take the array as 12 to 1994. You can perform join method on that, joining using slash. So what are your, this is array A. So your array name is A. You are taking the array elements as 12 to 1994. You want to join these array elements with the help of join method. Now the output for this will be 12 to 1994. So what you wanted to take? You wanted to print this date as output. So 12 to 1994. So you have taken the array A, you have taken the array A, created the array, passed the elements as 12 to 1994. Now you are joining these elements with the help of slash. So output will be 12 to 1994. Like this also you can do using the join method. So now let us see using arrays only if we have written the program for non-recursive linear search. While studying about data structures, you already know what is linear search. Searching the elements, searching the array elements, performing sorting, you already know all these things. Now using JavaScript, I want to write a program which will implement non-recursive linear search. So for performing non-recursive linear search in JavaScript, we are writing a program. So this is that program. So see here, first array they have declared. This is array. Array name is A. These are the array elements. What are these? Array elements. So variable I we have declared, for loop we have used, break statement we have used, if else loop we are using. So closing and ending of tags you know. This is nothing but a simple C program. In C also you will have same code for linear search. What we are doing newly here, language decided as JavaScript, created the array as A and array elements we have given. I want all the array elements to be integers, so I have taken parseInt. I want to give the input from keyboard, so I am using window.prompt. These new things you have to understand here. C program also same, Java program also same, but in JavaScript what are the additional things we are learning? That additional things you need to understand. So logic is same. For performing linear search, what is the logic we have? That logic is same. From declaring variable I to all this else, logic is same. But what are the new things here? Language we have decided as JavaScript. Array is A. These are array elements. I want to give the input from keyboard. That's why I am using window.prompt. I want all the array elements to be integers, numbers. So I am using parseInt. After executing all this code, if element is found, I want to print the element. So I am using document.writeElement. In output, I want to print the founded element. What I am doing? I am doing linear search. What is nothing but linear search? Searching the element in array. I want to search some element in array. For that I am doing linear search. The code for performing linear search is same. But the new things is prompt for giving the input from keyboard. ParseInt for converting all the elements into integers. Declaring the array and giving the array elements. Finally, if you want to print the founded element. See, I want the 45. I want to search 45. After executing parseInt window prompt, enter the element to search, I will give you 45. So after this statement, after the execution of this statement, var element parseInt window prompt, enter the element to search. After that execution, what I will give? I will give 45 from keyboard. This 45 need to be searched in this array. Linear search. First they will search with 20, false, 30, false, 10, false, 100, false, 45, true. When it is true, I want to print the element found. For printing the element found, I am using document.writeElement. So see here, yes, taken the array, passed the elements, giving the input from keyboard, converting all the elements into integers. Code for performing linear search. Document.writeElement for output. I want to search 45. Since I am searching in the linear search, first we will compare with 20, no, 10, no, 30, no, 100, false. Finally, when compared with 45, true, then I want to print element found. So for that I am using document.writeElement. If this is not true, in case of 45 also if it is not true, means, see I want to search 33. 33 is not at all there in this list. We will compare with every element. When it is not found, else condition is when false happen, we will go for else. So what is the else condition? Element position I plus 1. So here we have taken I. Initially we have given the I value to 0. We are comparing the element with all the elements in the array. If not found, then in else condition what we are going? We are going to the next position, I plus 1. I plus 1 is nothing but going to next position. So this is the program for performing linear search. I have given you an example. This example is for performing linear search. Linear search is nothing but you have to enter an element and you have to search for that element in the array. If the element is found, you can print that. If element is not found, you are going to print I plus 1. So by this we can end the arrays. The topic of arrays we can end by this. What we have discussed, how to declare the array, what are the 6 ways to declare the array, then what are the push, pop, insert, for inserting and deleting, then reverse, sort, We have seen some examples. And finally, writing a JavaScript program for linear search. Using arrays, we have done all these things. In next class, we will see functions. So arrays completed, functions we will see in the next class. So okay, next one is functions. So everything we are learning about JavaScript. Now we want to learn about functions also. So what we have learned till now? Data types, primitive and non-primitive data types we have, operators like assignment operators, arithmetic operators, boolean operators we have, type conversion. Type conversion is nothing but converting explicit conversion and implicit conversion. We have started JavaScript. We have known about data types, operators, type conversions, variable declarations, control structures. So these and all we have discussed. Object creation we have discussed. Array also we have discussed. So now finally, if we know what is a function, then we can write a program using functions also. See, to declare user defined function, we use keyword called function. So what is the keyword we have? Function is keyword. So if you want to declare a user defined function, you should use the keyword function. So see here, function name, argument list, statements, return type. This is the syntax. So this is the syntax. So we are discussing about functions. Functions will be of two types, predefined functions and user defined functions. As how we have the objects, same way functions also, predefined functions, user defined functions. So predefined functions is also called as built-in functions or global functions. Usually a small piece of code used for execution of program. A small piece of code used for execution of program is called as function. Small piece of code used for execution of the program. For whole execution of the program, that code we should use. That is called as functions. Functions is of two types, predefined functions and user defined functions. User defined functions will be defined by the users. Predefined functions is also called as global functions and built-in functions. So the next one, what is the syntax of function? So keyword we are using. The keyword we are using is function keyword. What is the syntax? Function name, argument list, statements and return type. This is the syntax. So this syntax you have to remember to write programs in JavaScript. So what we have, function is nothing but a piece of code which is used for the entire program for the execution of program. Functions is of two types, predefined and user defined. Predefined functions is also called as global functions and built-in functions. These user defined functions are defined by the user. Then what is the keyword we have? Function is the keyword we have. Then coming to syntax, function name, argument list, statements and return types. So let us see the example. So if you see the example here, what is this? JavaScript language as usual. Document.writeLL for output. See here, do you remember this tag? Heading tag. Heading H1 to H6 we have, right? So H1 size we are using. So what will be the output for this? So that will be the output for that. We are finding the square roots. So I want to find the square root from 1 to 5. For finding the square root from 1 to 5, I have written a JavaScript program. Here I am using function. So what is the syntax? Function name, argument list, statements. So what I want to find the square of everything. 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4, 5 into 5. Why I am performing multiplication like this? 1 square is nothing but 1 into 1. Obviously 2 square, 2 into 2. 3 square, 3 into 3. 4 square, 4 into 4. 5 square, 5 into 5. If I want to find the square root of any number, I want to multiply with itself only. So I want to find the square root of 2, so that I want to multiply 2 with itself only. So I want to find the square root of 1 to 5. I am multiplying it with self only. For that, what condition I have written? Y into y. If my y value is 5, y square is nothing but y into y. 5 square is nothing but 5 into 5, 25. For executing this program, so I have taken the script language as JavaScript. I want a statement like square of 1 to 5. This should be of size h1. So in output also, this is of size h1, heading 1. Square of 1 to 5, printed in the different font size. Then I have taken a for loop. I have initialized it with 1. I want to continue the loop until 5. For square root, I have written the function. Function name, argument list, statements. So what happened here? Function name is square. Square is function name. What are the arguments I have passed? Y is the argument. So what is the statement I have given? Written y into y is the statement. So you know all these things. You know what is h1 tag for different font size. So function name is square. Argument list is y. What it want to return? Returning output. Final output we will return. So if you want to find the square of any number, we want to multiply it with itself only, as 5 into 5 will be the 25, 5 square also 25 only. So for that function I have used and I have printed the square. So see, now I am writing a Java program to find the JavaScript program. Actually now I wanted to tell you JavaScript program for factorial of given number. So factorial of given number program you already know. Writing the factorial of given number in JavaScript. As usual, because it is JavaScript, language will be JavaScript. All the elements should be integers, so I am using parsing. I have declared the variable n. So I want to give the input from keyboard, I am using window.prompt. For output I am using document.write. This factorial code you already know, right? See, I have taken n. If n equal to 1, I want to return 1. If not 1, then I want to find the factorial. What is the formula for factorial? N into fact of n minus 1. So formula for factorial n into fact of n minus 1, this we know. So very simple. Writing all C programs in JavaScript is very simple. What the difference we will find? Difference we will find in the form of language, while declaring variables, while converting them into integers, in input statement and output statements we will find the difference. All these if statements, else statements, formula for finding factorial, all these are same. So this is the Java program for finding the factorial of numbers. So we have written it in the JavaScript. What it will differ? Where it will differ? It will differ in some points only, as I said now. This return is used for output. What we want to print in the output, for that we are using return. So n into fact of n minus 1 is simple. Simple formula only. So this in another way. Same factorial program, in another way also you can write. See, you have used the function fact here. That same function you can use many times, nothing but nested functions. So nested functions also you can use. You can use the concept of nested functions also. In previous program you have used function. See, in this program, this is also program for finding factorial of n numbers. Here you have used function fact n. So function name. Name of the function here is fact. So what is the name of the function here? Function name is fact. What is the argument list passed? N is the argument list passed. So n is the argument list passed. Fact is the function name. Like this also you can write. Otherwise you can write like this also. You can implement the concept of nested functions. You can use the function start for starting the program. You can use the function fact for finding the factorial of the program. Same, it will give same output. Both the programs are for finding factorial of n numbers only, but writing it in a different way. So next one, parameter passing techniques. This you know from the beginning itself. Call by value and call by reference. While discussing in the class, I want you people to give examples for this. In C programming, you know what is call by value and call by reference. JavaScript also will support call by value and call by reference. While we are talking in the general class, I want you people to give examples for this call by value and call by reference. But see here, if you want to pass the variables, we are using call by value. If you want to pass the arrays and objects, we are using call by reference. So we already know call by value and call by reference parameter passing techniques. Nothing but if you want to pass the variables, we are using call by value. If you want to pass the arrays and objects, passing arrays, passing objects. Arrays and objects can be passed using call by reference. Call by value is for variables. So two parameter passing techniques we have, call by value and call by reference. You people have to give examples for this in general class. What I wanted to tell is, in JavaScript, variables are passed using call by value, objects and arrays are passed using call by reference. So let us see the examples for this. So this is call by value example. So see, scripting language Java, function name f, argument is a. So what I am doing, a equal to a plus 100. A is a variable. Since a is a variable, for that printing for that variable, I am writing this program. So I have taken a function name f. So I have taken a equal to a plus 100. So a is nothing but a variable. What is the value of variable a? 100. After performing call by value also, after executing all these things, what will be the output? After function calling also 100 only it will be there. So this is call by value for variables. So call by reference for objects and arrays. So for what purpose we are using call by reference? Call by reference is used for arrays and objects. So similarly, our language is JavaScript. Variable I we have taken. For loop we are using. Here a is array. In previous example a is variable. In this example a is array. What array elements we have? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But what I am doing, for all these array elements I am adding 1. So what should be the output? 11, 21, 31, 41, 51 should be the output. So see carefully. In this example a is array. In previous example a is variable. All these language functions, declaring a variable I, using for loop, all these things are same. Finally what I wanted to print? I wanted to print a after performing call by reference. So what it will be? Initially a is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But I am adding 1 for that. For array I am adding 1. So output will be 11, 21, 31, 41, 51. So output will be 11, 21, 31, 41, 51. So see here, we will conclude by this. So parameter passing mechanisms we have two, call by value and call by reference. In JavaScript we support these two. For variables we are using call by value. For arrays and objects we are using call by reference. So here a is the variable, so output will be like this. So in this example we are performing call by value and a is variable. So in this example a is an array. For array we are going to suppose to use call by reference. Since I am adding 1 for that, 10, 20, 30, 40 becomes 40, 50 becomes 11, 21, 31, 41, 51. So let us conclude what all we have seen till now. Different types of data types, different types of control structures, variables, operators, object creation, arrays, methods, and what we are using programming using JavaScript. Finally, what we have discussed, the important concept functions. So functions is also supported by JavaScript. We will have predefined functions, user defined functions, and again we have seen some functional examples. Finally, we have seen two parameter passing techniques, call by value and call by reference. And if I have used any images or any content, some images I have taken from the Google, and this is for only academic purpose, not the commercial use. Thank you. In next class we will discuss the remaining topics.
Okay, madam.